Hello everyone, it's Michelle Pepper here, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Auckland and New Zealand. Welcome to my weekly class to go. This week we are playing with the Bottled Happiness stamp set. Now we've actually had this stamp set a little while now, so it's not a new product, but I've actually not demonstrated it before because well, it took me a while to get it, and then yeah, it took me a while to actually make a class with it. So now the coordinating products with this includes the vintage bottle punch, which coordinates very nicely with this bottle here, and also these little vintage bottle shaker domes. I don't know if you can read it, but basically there is a pack of, I believe there are 10 in a box, so we'll be using this in our one of our projects as well for today. Right, so now there in my first card I will be also using this effervescent elements, which is actually now not available in our catalog or online, so consider it a very exclusive item that you can only get when you get one of my class to go card packs this week. All right, so so that will be, I mean, you won't get the whole container, you'll get a little bit of it because it will be used in our class projects today, in our one of the class project. Let me just move this. Oh, actually, I was going to move this away, but actually, let me show you. So the stamp set is found on page 98, and usually what I do, so what I usually do each week is pick a stamp set that or a product out of the catalog that I like to highlight for the week, and so all week long I will make samples and show you samples of how to use the products. All right, so and usually what I like to do is pick one of the cards samples that are in the catalog. So in this case, this week I have picked this one here, and then on Monday I show you a case, a copy and selectively edited version of the card that I selected. And so yeah, I just wanted to show you how you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Sometimes you just need to pick a card that you like and use that as a starting point, and then make another card. You can make it exactly the same, or you can use it as a starting point and see how your creativity your creativity takes you. And yeah, your finished project might be very different to what you started with, which I think you might agree that this week, this card that I have ended up with looks quite different to that one. Yeah, but it is started from there. Okay, so you can read about it in my blog, but I will quickly run through. So I've obviously changed the color scheme. And I didn't use this one here. It actually has the shaker dome, and it's like a shaker card, but I haven't done that with this one. I've just punched it out in 2D, and then sending the message is it's a label there, and what I've done is I've just kind of stamped it a few times around the image here as a background. As a background. And so, but I have used that strip of paper, which is what that has here. This is also a smaller card, and I've changed it, made it into a bigger card. And yeah, so as I said, when you copy and selectively edit a card, sometimes it's exactly the same, sometimes it's not, and sometimes it's anywhere in between. And there is no right or wrong way to do it, just as long as what it is that it gives you idea. It gives you a starting point, and so when you are stuck for ideas, that's what I would do. A card. Alright, so that was card number 1 this week. Let me put this away. By card number 1, I mean that was what I shared on Monday. Alright, so and then on Tuesday, we have this little beauty. I love it, don't you? It's just so pretty. So I have used, let me pull in the stamp set again. So with the name Bottle Happiness, I think, you know, the focus can be straight away onto the bottles. But yeah, so this card I was trying to highlight that you can use, the floral images can be quite the focal point as well, right? So, so you get quite different look from the same stamp set. So yeah, so that's what I've done. I have pulled in another product called the something Posies, I think, 3D embossing folder, just to add some texture to the white base here. All right, so yeah, so that's card number 2. Right, so today, let's get on with our project. Number 1, card number 1. So with my class to go, if you are new, I do 2 projects, all right, from in the video, which everyone can view. Is available free on YouTube. So if you like and subscribe my video, I would really appreciate it, and share the video if you enjoy it. Again, I really appreciate if you do that. All right, so this is what I do in the weekly class to go is I do 2 projects, and for this week, throughout this week, if you place an order with me, if you're a New Zealand resident, because by Stampin' Up policy, I cannot sell overseas. But if you live in New Zealand and you can purchase, you can place an order with me this week, and I will send you the card kit for free as a thank you gift. So you will get two card kits like that for this card, and then you get 2 for the next card that we'll be showing as well. Yeah, so you've got everything pre-cut in there. So let me pull them out. All right, so everything that you need is there. The only thing is obviously not the adhesives, and also it won't come stamped because, again, that's Stampin' Up policy. We're not allowed to do stamped images. So in order to complete the cards, you will need the stamp set and the punch as well. Otherwise, you can substitute it and therefore case the card, but you substitute it with something that you have similar, or something that you can substitute it with. So let me just show you what I've done here, right? So we've got the envelope. All the card kits come with envelope, Stampin' Up envelope. Right, so I'm just pulling out everything that's in there. Put this aside. We have a piece of vellum here. We have this little bag of the effervescent elements, all right? And then we have a little square piece of Very Vanilla. So I'm just going to leave that there. So that is going to be for the scroll, message in a bottle type thing. So we've got crumb cake and 2 little strips of rose gold cardstock, foil cardstock. Okay, it's actually rose gold, but it's the one which is I think it's called iridescent. There are 3 different finish in there. There's matte, gloss, and iridescent, and this is the iridescent one, which kind of gives you this color refracted from the light. But yeah, so in real life it doesn't actually look that neon stunning like okay, so we've got those, okay, and then we've got this little shaker dome, and then we've got some tiny linen thread as well. Okay, so the cardstock, so we've got a card base of a Very Vanilla white, and this is how I usually like to do the inside of my cards. So I have a layer of crumb cake here, and then another layer of the Very Vanilla, which is your writing layer. So that just goes on there and goes on inside of it. So let me just move things around so we have a bit more space. Just kind of like put this to the side, and we're going to start stamping. Just realized I didn't bring a lot. Just going to pull out one of these. Right, I think I will need this just to protect the space a little bit. Let's start with in here. Why don't we? Actually, no, I'm going to start. So you've also, this layer of Night of Navy, I will emboss it. So it comes embossed already with the, I think it's called Country Blossoms 3 embossing folder. So it's really quite cute. I think it works quite well. I mean, you will only see a little bit of it. By the way, the design for this card was not originally by me, but I was part of a group of demonstrators that hosted the extravaganza. I think it might have been last year or the year before, and we did a similar card. We did this version, but some of the so the colorways for this is Evening Evergreen or Evergreen Evening, and that's retired. So so this is kind of like more green based, and because it's retired, I can't use it. I'm not using it, so I've changed it use it with a more the blue version, if you like, the blue bottles. All right, so anyway, so yeah, so that's where it came from. I believe it was originally designed by Jackie Williams. Okay, so let me show you what I've done here. So first of all, that is already embossed, and so we can glue this on. All right, so just gonna grab, oops, whoa, I nearly, okay, just been quite messy today already. Okay, put that on here. Probably doesn't help that it's all white. It's all just going to, right, so just kind of, okay, so there we go. So that's all neatly done. And then, so we're just going to layer it on at the moment, okay? So we've got this strip of crumb cake. Now we've got this torn look here. So if you don't like that look, you can just use your trimmer to cut a straight line, okay? Or but yeah, so what I've done is I like the torn look for this, and so basically we just tear it. Okay, so I've just done that. So this is quite basic here. So then that, no, it's gone a bit curly. So that goes on there, right, and then that goes down there on here, like so. Right, so I'm just going to glue it straight on with our Tombow glue. A little goes a long way. And let me see. I think, yeah, we can do it like that. Maybe you just need to pull it a bit more. Okay. The good thing about Tombow glue is that the liquid glue is that it does give you a bit of time, right, to, if you needed it, to just move things around a little bit. Okay, so there you go. So that's one layer, and then that layer, which is the rose gold, so that will go on here as well. Okay, so just like so. Now I'm such a liquid glue person, that's what I default to, I know some people like use the tearing tape and some people like using the stamping seal. So whatever floats your boat, right? But yeah, let me know what do you prefer? Are you a liquid glue person, or are you one of the other options? Right. So with the foil, you just have to be really careful, because if you've got glue on your finger and you did that, and you're going to get smudged look on it easily. So yeah, so if you're a messy gluer, you might want to use tape instead. Alright, so sliver. Okay. I have a smudge there already. Okay. And then now that, oh, okay, I clearly need to move this. Oh, let me see. Can I pull this or not? I may not have allowed enough time. What I might need to do, if I haven't allowed enough room, then I might need to, oops, this is really bad, this is really wonky. Here we go. It's better. Now, have I left enough? Oh dear, this is terrible. What have I done here? I think what I've done is I haven't left enough. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so that layer will go there. Okay, so let's work on this layer now. I'm just going to put that layer aside for now. Okay, I'm going to work on this. Now what we need is the stamp, the bottle stamp. And we're going to have a row of bottles on here. Now I'm going to kind of eyeball, there's no right or wrong here. I'm just going to eyeball it and stamp it around about here. So I'm going to stamp, so the colors that we're using are all the blues, well, a range of the blues. So we've got the Night of Navy, the Misty Moonlight, Boho Blue, and Balmy Blue. Alright, so I'm going to use this. Let me have a look. I think that's still wet. Okay. So we'll need this. I'm going to use, let's open up this darkest blue, which is the Night of Navy. So I'm just going to stamp it right about here. Okay. And then I will then promptly also punch it out. Okay, so that's the one that will be punching out. Right. So if you haven't used our stamp and our punches before, we turn it upside down so that we can actually line it up with the stamp image. And when you're happy with it, I just kind of press it down and lock it into place, and then punch it. Right, so that's how that works. So here you go, we've got a punched out bottle. So I'm going to leave that aside for now. And then I'm going to keep stamping all the different, so that's all the punch that I need to use. That's all I need to use a punch for, I mean. Let me, gonna just move things around a little bit, sorry. Space is at a premium, just moving that out of the way. Then I want it to go the next lightest color, which is the Misty Moonlight, and my Misty Moonlight is super juicy, as you can see. It's like leaking everywhere. I'm just going to clean this off with the chamois and stamp it a few times on here just to make sure that it is really clean. Alright, so So this thing. And then use my Misty Moonlight. Now, what I've done sometimes is that because it's so juicy, this is what I do. Having said that, now what happened to my spoon? There you go. Just got a little spoon here. I just try and get all the color. I just kind of use the back of a spoon, as you can see. Just drag the ink to one side. And then, so let me just test this out. That's not too bad. Okay, I'm just going to do that. So sometimes because it pulls, you see. And, oh no! Ah! Rats. That is not good. This is what happens. You don't want that to happen. Alright. Okay, I'm going to recut this one because that's not gonna do. That is white, so that's the wrong color. That wouldn't do, my dear. Alright, have I got more? Yes, I have more that has already been pre-cut. Okay, okay. Alright, I'm just going to punch that out. Without stamping, because I'm just mindful that time is ticking. Alright, oh gosh, this is what happens. Try not to get ink on you. Alright, there we go. We're going to stamp here. And I don't, can I get any worse? That's alright. I think you'll get the idea. So that's a little bit wonky. But let's go with it. Let's run with it. Nothing goes perfect, you know, when you're doing a video. But that's okay. We'll just run with it. I will probably make it all slightly wonky donkey then. Okay, again, let's have a look. It's like sometimes if it's too juicy, it gets a bit blotchy. Alright, so I'm just going to pull all that colour. I don't know if you can see how, yeah, I'm just brushing all the ink to one side so it's not too juicy and pulling. Alright, just double checking. Right, let's have a look. Let's make it wonky on purpose. Or maybe this one can be straight. There we go. So yeah, so we've got that. I'm going to clean that off. Okay. So the next colour, move that aside, which is the balmy blue. Again, just going to move this, clean the spoon, and then do that as well. This is only initial, like if you know your ink pads are juicy. I don't do this the whole time, all the time. It's just that when they're new, they're quite juicy. Alright, so we've got that. Now, that will clearly only be some. Yes. Okay, and I'll do another one, and I might actually run, I'm going to change the colour. So I mean the order of things. So I'm going to show more of that. Yep. Perfect. Right, and then I think I will just close this so I don't get ink everywhere. Balmy blue, I'm just putting it back straight away. And then I think I will go for the, yep, the boho blue. Let's go for the boho blue. Alright, and then here we go. So we've got a slightly, I don't think it looks too bad. So, yeah. It's called being real, right? Bottles. Well, unless we're really OCD about things, but not me. Here we go. So Misty Moonlight. Now, I'm mindful of, see what I mean? It's so juicy and I get ink everywhere. So this is what happens to some of our new ones. I think it gets a little bit messy. Okay, just going to put that away now for now, just so that, and clean that off my finger. But I do want this, which is our Night of Navy. Now, because this card base here is Night of Navy, I'm going to do, well, that's what I've done. I've put it in that colour. Okay, so it's just to tie in a bit of that, the blue on the outside. So I'm going to do that here. And I'm just going to do that on here as well. Right, so that's cool. Alright, let's move this Night of Navy out of the way. Alright, so let's clean that off. And then something that I like doing is to, so that it's not just, what do you call it? I just want it to add a little bit of interest. So I'm just going to use my stamping bleeds, the brush end, okay? So all our bleeds, all our markers are dual tip. So you've got one tip is the brush end and one tip is the pen, the smaller nib. So and it's really cleverly done so that you've got this picture of brush end nib, but also a dash here which is a thicker line than that. So you know which is which, so you don't have to pull the lid off to see which end you've got. Now, if you've got the marker pens, you can use that as well for this, which is just to flick on some speckles onto the card. Now, we don't sell the Stampin' Right markers individually, so we sell them in the family packs. You buy like a set of 10 pens. So in some ways, it might be not as doable for some people to buy that, to get 10 pens at once. And you might prefer to get the stamping blends instead, which you get two, the dark and the light, and it's a little bit cheaper than buying the whole set, okay? Well, in the long run, obviously, the 10 pack will be cheaper, but yeah, so sometimes we just have to work to a budget, and we can't do that, right? Right, so I'm just going to pull that off, and I'm just going to show you what I do. Just flicking. There you go. So nice splatter of, right? I'm just going to leave it. That might have been too much, but that's all right. And I actually do it on here as well. And I'll just be a little bit more careful here. So I'm just wanting to show, ooh, okay. So you can go a bit crazy, or you can go very lightly. Okay. So just let me, I think I might have gotten glue everywhere too. So yeah, so it just looks a little bit not as plain, all right? So just giving it a little bit of, I don't know why I've kind of, looks like I've got splatters here, but not here. So I'm just going to try and flick a bit more here. Okay, so I'm going to leave that as is. All right, so get that out the way. So this, as you can see, I have done them just a little bit more enthusiastic than I have done here. But also I have used the marker pens for this. All right, so I'm just going to leave that. All right, so we're nearly there. Nearly there. No, not yet. It just gets a bit the bit that you have to be careful. That's where we're coming up to. Right, and this first project is actually more involved than I usually have with my class to go card kits, but I really wanted to show you, really wanted to use up that, to use some of that effervescent element, and so I really wanted to add that in. But yeah, I just love this card so much though, and I think you would too, so I wanted you to be able to access it. Right, so here we go. So that's the inside of the card done. You just need to do your writing. You can do more stamping if you want, but I'm going to leave it at that. And so now, this part here, just a few things to think about. Right, what is it? I believe, what do I need to do? Now I need to do that. Right, I need to do that, which I think I can do straight away. I'm not sure, but we'll see. I'm not sure if this is... I probably should have practiced a little bit before I started on this video, but I've peeled. So it comes already with adhesive, so peel the top off. Alright, and then I'll just place it nicely down there. I know you can't probably see it. Let me just see if I can pull that one. Now can you see it better? Yep. And just move that out of the way. So then, right, just going to layer that on. So that is on. Alright, so how nice and easy it is. Alright, so we've got the adhesive ready. So then next is I need this to go on here, and I need those effervescent. Oh, I need that as well. Sorry, nearly haven't done this part. So that was that vanilla, very vanilla little square piece of, and I'm just going to do these just more ink left on here. Which is, I don't know, one of the browns. It's probably crumb cake. Alright, so just making it looking a little bit old paperish. Alright, and then I'm just going to use the bone folder to kind of work it and give it a little bit of flexibility instead of that nice. And then all I wanted to do, actually, what I might do, I will do, is get my scissors and roughen up the edges as well. So, you know, like it's supposed to look like a, you know, old time worn paper scroll message, you know, in a bottle. So yeah, so this is kind of going for that old look. And then now we're just going to roll it up. Okay. And then use the thread that I have provided in your kit. And then we're going to tie a knot, which I'm a bit, is a bit, feeling a bit pressure here to do it on camera. Woo! Right, so I'm just going to tie that and move that around. I think I'll double knot it if I can. You can't see my face. I'm actually holding my tongue. I was holding my tongue when I'm not talking. Hold it in the right place. Okay, I don't think that worked very well, but that will do for now. Somehow I've got those 3 strands. Oh dear. Did it not go? right here. Yes, I did it. Now I can probably make it a little bit darker. Right. Just like, if you have like those old stamp, scripty kind of stamp, you know, you can make it look, you can stamp on it first as well and make it look like there's writing all over. And then there's one cute little bow that I have pre-made as well. Okay, so I'm just going to stick that on. So I will just stick that on with a glue dot. That's probably the easiest and the tidiest. Using my pick tool. Just kind of make it a bit smaller. Alright, so you're just going to stick that on. It's a bit wild, isn't it? Okay, so that's the idea, is that we have, there you go, we have that. We turn it over and we want to put, these, oh, careful when you pour it out of your bag. Just be especially gentle with it, unlike what I've done there. Just kind of let it all run out. So just a few in there, and then you get your scroll where the bow is. I'm just going to put it in there like that. Okay, and then we can peel this off, the adhesive, and then use the window sheet that's also provided, and then we're just going to stick that on. Alright, and just get all the bubbles out. Turn it over. Now we can talk. Alright, so then we're just going to trim off any excess acetate or window sheet. Okay, so we're just going to cut that bit off. That thing is still a little bit of a pain. Try that. See some showing at the top, maybe a little bit. Alright, so just getting all that trimmed off. So now that's nice and sturdy and all covered up. Okay, so there's a little shaker thingy. Oh, some of them got stuck. Oh, okay. So there's that, and then that will just go straight on here. Now we can, so with this I can just glue that on. Right, actually what I might do is grab a scrap piece of paper. Alright, and I'm just going to glue that on. I think, let's see. Oops. Stick it on. And then I know I can just stick that on either side. Alright. So then I can just line it up with where my bottle is. Slip sliding away. But we're good now. Then if I just glue that on. Actually, we'll glue that part too. And then that goes straight on top of these. Just line it up real well. Right. I seem to have, might want to do it this way. I'm just looking, yeah, I think this looks a little bit better. And here we go. So we've got our card front. Right, so we haven't quite finished. So now we've got the other, the vellum bit. So we're going to do sending a little message. Do my Versamark. And actually, let me pull out my copper. That's the color that I'm using. Alright, just going to have that all ready. And then stamping this on. Say, sending a little message. So we've got the gold, the copper powder on here, so that I can, just going to be a bit loud, just going to see if I can show you. The magic of embossing. I love it. Hope you saw that. Oop, there's a little bit here. So that was the magic of embossing. There's a bit on the G that hasn't actually melted. Oh, there we go. So there. So now we've got nice shiny copper. Let's get that one out of the way for now. And I'm just doing a little bit of a snip. Right, and then I'm just going to put it on here, like so. And I am just going to put glue on the words, so it's kind of hide it a little bit. Okay, but it does glue on quite well. I just wanted it to say sending a little message. Right, and then on the inside. So there's card number 1. Let me get things out of the way so you can see it a little bit better. I think it's well worth it. It's a little bit fiddly, but yes. Put that one aside. And there, so there. Woo. Radio, so that is card number 1. Just move that one out of the way so you can see it properly. So a little bit wonky with this one, but I don't think it looks too bad. What do you think? Let's get on to card number 2. Okay, so card number 2, do we need this? We don't need this, so I'm just going to get rid of this colour. Hang on, just going to, okay, I think it's just going to be there. Right, let's get rid of that one for now, so we can have a tidier space, workspace. Alright, number 2 is hopefully a little bit easier than that one, okay? And that's usually not what, the first card is usually not what I would pick for class to go, but so with this second card, we are using the colorways here as Pool Party, and we've got Gorgeous Grape and Lemon Lime Twist, and then there's Bright Flirty Flamingo on there as well. And just the sentiment I have pulled out of Sending Smiles stamp set, Love and Big Hugs. And yeah, because I didn't think Let's Get Into the Spirit. I wanted a sentiment with a single line. I didn't think Let's Get Into the Spirit was quite what I'm after. So I've used that one, okay? So let's see. A lot more straightforward with this one, I think. All right, so we got the envelope. So let's put that one aside. What's that one there? Okay. And then we have this one. I think we've just left it plain. I didn't do the inside, but I'm just going to leave it as it is. All right, so then that goes... Oh, that's a little bit big, isn't it? Well, I guess we could do it that way too. We could have that look. What happened to my... Oh, there's a bit missing here. And that would be what these things are here for. For some reason, I didn't put them in the... I didn't put them in here for some reason. And it's a little bit long, isn't it? Let's have a look. I'm just going to trim that off. So what is the size of this? This one is 14.5. Not sure why I didn't trim it properly, but here we go. 14.5, just trimming that off. That little sliver off, we don't need that. And actually, seeing how I'm doing that, trim that off as well. 14.5 is what we want. We want it to be at 14.5. I did a double because it's quite thick. And the size of this was a 4. Is it 4 inches? Right. So we're going to cut that at 4 as well. Just trim that off. So yours will be, I will double check your kit, alright? Your kit will be nice and neat and you won't have to do this trimming. So just pardon me, just ignore that bit and pretend you didn't see me do that. But that's the behind the scenes, if you like. Alright, so real easy. This part here, we're just going to glue. So the Pool Party down. Okay, and then we've got this layer here, which will just go straight on there. Okay, I have really not packed this really well, have I? I know what, I was in a rush when I was doing this. That's what it was, and I did it for you a couple of days ago, and so I have clearly not done what I needed to do properly. Actually, let me just see. Oopsie. Okay, so just making sure that's the right color. So we need, golly gosh, that's not even up. What happened to, where is it? Oh, there it is. I needed this. I need this and this. So I need this for the flirty flamingo bottle. So just going to need that. And stamp that on here. Okay, so that's one. So you can see, because it's quite juicy, I'm going to see if I can show you the difference. All right. So if I move the color, can you see? Oh, this is much clearer. You can see how I can move the color to the sides. Okay, so and let's have a look at the difference when you stamp these two. Yep, can you see the difference? Like that one obviously very juicy, and so the lines aren't as defined, whereas this one is. So yeah, so there's, if you find that your stamp image isn't coming out as crisp as you want it, that would be why. Okay, that your ink pad might be a bit juicy and you just need to move the color around a little bit. All right, just, there can be such a thing as too much ink. All right, so we've got that one stamped. I'm just going to do the stamping first. I'm going to put that one back in here. And now we're going to stamp the flower. I need to do the same. I don't think Gorgeous Grape, I don't think I need to do that for Gorgeous Grape, because that is, I have used it a bit. And so it isn't as juicy. So I'm going to do that big one here. Yep, and then it's just a matter of putting, I think, right, so my floral down there, Gorgeous Grape, and then I want it then I want the Lemon Lime Twist, just that one, and the other floral image. So this is what we call two-step stamping. So lining it up can be a bit tricky. Oops, got ink now on me. Just gonna find the center of the flowers, and it's okay if it's not exactly right. It's the beauty of two-step stamping. Okay, so I'm just gonna put that green on. There we go. It's pretty good, right? We've got all those lined up in place. And that's a great thing about the photopolymer stamp, because you can see through it, and so likely to be able to get a good image. And then with this, we just need to cut it out using the paper snip. So this is fairly easy to cut. Now generally I leave a little white border, but this one I am going to try and cut it fairly close to the line. Oh, I've just seen something that I haven't done. Yeah. Okay. Right here. Here we go. And then I just need, where's my little thing, like the little cork. Okay, I'm going to use that as well. I'm going to do that in crumb cake. So yeah, if you don't have all these colors, you can either buy them, right, place an order for them, or you can use whatever color you have. You substitute it, right, as long as it goes. So that's the cork bit. Now again, I'm going to go quite close to the image. So just been having to be a bit more careful. Usually I leave a border, a white border, and it's a lot more forgiving. And I can go a lot quicker with that too. But this one I'm trying to do a very precise job here. So I leave that because that's going to be, okay, that's going to be going under here. Okay, so let's just give it a bit of glue. Just a few dots of glue. And then, yep, so it just looks like it's a bit of a cork right there. And then a bit of, was there another bit of, okay, so we've got that. Actually, I'm just going to leave that. I'm just going to put that on here like that with a little bit of the glue dot. Okay, I'm going to roll it with my finger. Right, so that's just that. Ah, did I use the wrong one? Of course I did. Where's my, there it is. Funny. Okay, so that will go over here, like so. And then we just need to emboss the words. Right, so that will go on here. Let's just glue it down. So I know it's done. See, I don't know if you're like me, I try to shake it all out and get every last little bit of glue out of these things. So eyeballing, if anything, a little bit more to the top, a little bit aligned to the top. Right, so these, I don't think that's very straight, is it? So there we go, we line it up here like so. And then that's just going to be in dimensional. One for the middle top here. For here, so we've got a little triangle thing happening. And gonna have that like around about here. Just maneuver it a bit. Okay, just sit how you want it. Alright, and then that's right, we've got those gems, but first I'm going to do this strip of Love and Big Hugs again, or maybe I will, where is it? Sending Smiles, where are you? Right, maybe what I'll do is change it to a note of thanks. That's lovely, isn't it? A note of thanks. Maybe I'll do that. Okay. So I like to just place it on there, and then so I'll move that out. And then just pick it up from there. Okay, and then I'm going to use the Versamark, a note of thanks. Right, we've got a bit of time, And this time we need the white, don't we? So let's hope everything don't start tumbling down. Right, this is white. Just hold it by the end. Cool. This bit here. Trying to flick all the extra little bits off. Lovely. Put that away. Okay, we're nearly there. Thank you for being patient and thank you for sticking around. If you just joined in, go back and replay. Getting a bit hot. Alright. So got a spray, but that's alright. I'm quite happy with that. And I'm kind of leaving this like center it. Okay. Just about done now, and then that's just going on here. See a note of thanks. You can put it a bit further, but I think I'm just gonna, yeah, we can just do it that way. Right, so then we need a couple of dimensionals on this side. Okay, and then that part there is going to be glue because it's sitting on the bottle. So this part here is just going to be that little bit, hardly anything. Alright, so we are just about done here. So I'm just going to have these. There's a big one here. Small one. Just 3 little dots. Okay, and then these loop. Alright, so here we go. So move that out of the way. Then you will be able to see all the card number 2 here. Now, if that isn't, show you that was a little bit over. So we can just use the scissors to snip off the excess. Right, tiny little bit. That's card number 2 and card number 1. So that is our class to go this week, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you weren't too fazed by the imperfectness of the video. Mistakes do happen. It's being real, and I hope you learn from the mistake that I've done, and you'll be you've worked out a better way of doing this. There is actually a good way. So these are the class to go card kits for this week. When you place an order with me of $40 or more this week throughout right up till Friday, at the end of Friday, I will be sure to get your card kits all prepped up. So you get 2 of this design and 2 of this design. So 4 card kits altogether will be on its way to you for free compliments from me, just to say thank you very much for supporting me, and I appreciate you very much. And so yeah, you can replay this video and watch it again, and do all the steps, you know, in order to put it together. Well, that's it for today, and I will see you next week with another card class to go, and another, yeah, highlighting another product from our range of products. Right, thank you. See you later. Bye.